let's cover the types of aphasia that you need to know for board certification, or for the EPPP, I don't know your life. Now, we've all seen this chart before, and we all get overwhelmed thinking, how am I going to remember all of this crap? But it's easy. I'm going to teach you with some stories, so just cuddle up and here's like 7 different bedtime stories. To remember Broca's aphasia, I think about a broke man. He's broke because he's trying to make it as a professional comedian, but he can hardly get any words out. His comprehension is intact, though, so he laughs at everyone else's jokes, and he wants to be like them, but he can't repeat the jokes, so he can't even steal other people's jokes, so he remains broke. Now, someone with Wernicke's aphasia, she works all right. Work is her middle name, or maybe Wernicke is the last name, but whatever. She works as a bartender, and her speech is fluent, but it doesn't make any sense. Everyone at the bar just assumes she's drunk and not making any sense. She also can't comprehend people's orders, so she ends up making the wrong drinks. She tries to double-check that she has their drink orders right by repeating what the customers say after they say it, but she can't do that either. So maybe she won't be working for long after all. But it's a bar, so everyone just thinks she's drunk and she kind of gets away with it. And that's good because she can't read or write either, so she doesn't have that many other career options. To remember conduction aphasia, I think of a train conductor. His speech is fluent, so he can make announcements to the passengers, he can talk, and his comprehension is intact, so he understands when someone tells him to watch out for a deer or something, but he cannot repeat what others tell him. Every morning, his assistant would tell him the weather report and tell him, just repeat what I say to the passengers, and he could not do it. He's like, I comprehend it fine, I can talk fine, I just can't repeat it. So eventually, she started having him read the announcements off a paper every morning that she prints for him, and he does well with that. But don't ask him to write anything or name anything. All he can do is talk to people, read prepared speeches off the paper, and comprehend what others tell him if there's an alert or warning or something he needs to know about. To remember global aphasia, I think about the Harlem Globetrotters. Maybe they go to their job playing basketball because all their language skills were impaired. They can't talk, they can't comprehend, they can't repeat things, name things, read, write, but man, they can dribble a basketball and entertain you. To remember anomic aphasia, I think about a nomad. Someone who travels from place to place, just kind of wandering around to different countries, learning different languages, like maybe a college student who studied some foreign languages for a while and now wants to see the world. So their speech is fluent, but it's kind of empty. I mean, they're a nomad, so it's probably not their first language. It's hard for them to name things. They can repeat what others say, and they can read okay, but their speech and writing just don't have that much content to them. To remember transcortical motor aphasia, I think about some guy in a motorcycle gang who can't really talk, but it's okay. He feels like he's part of the gang just by riding with his buddies. Sometimes his buddies try to talk to him when they're like stopped for a second at a red light or something, and he comprehends what they're saying, so he can nod along and stuff. And sometimes his buddies can't tell if he's listening or not because he never really says anything, so they're like, hey, if you're really listening, then repeat after me, and they say some word, and he repeats it. So they're like, okay, fine, seems like you comprehend and you can repeat things. And when they stop to order breakfast at the diner, he can read the menu, or sometimes he just repeats what someone else orders. They say eggs to the waitress, so he repeats eggs. But they all secretly know he can't write, so when it comes time to write a check for the bill, someone else does that. To remember transcortical sensory aphasia, I think of someone training to be a sensei, like learning karate. Now, this guy can speak fluently, but his speech is echolalic. Someone says, hi-ya, and he says, hi-ya. His repetition is good. His comprehension is actually terrible when they're trying to explain new moves to him, but he gets it by just watching other people do karate and imitating what they do. He can't read or write or name things, so he's never going to be a good teacher in the traditional sense, but he can be a good sensei or karate teacher because he'll just physically show people how to do karate and they'll just imitate him. Hit like if you think I should make more free study videos.